What's up, everybody, and welcome to Echo 4, and it's a girls' night. I'm your girl, Drea, and I'm with
Booty Monique. Hey, y'all.
Hey. So yeah, the guys ain't with us. They wasn't trying to watch this damn movie. When I mean movie, I mean Black Widow. Now, Natasha Romanoff, she made her debut in Iron Man 2. And, across 12 years?
Mm-hmm.
8 films, a post-credit cameo, dying. She finally has her own film.
Shaking my head.
Man. But after, observing that little treatment of a superhero, and we wonder, is it getting any better? Are these films getting any better? And, so buckle up. This ain't a review. It's going to be some bullshit. And you know what? Warning, you might want to turn this into a drinking game. Every time you hear feminist or hashtag feminism, just take a shot. Take a shot.
Shit, I'll take a shot with you.
I mean, that sounds like an ongoing trend that we might hit throughout this conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Question number 1, to get into the mood, to get into the zone, Brittany, what is your expectation with superhero movies in general?
Well, now I feel like because we've been in over a decade of just nonstop superhero movies and franchises, I feel that Hollywood knows that we're probably getting burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think they're going to try to make these very unique superhero films. They're going to try to, branch out to the diversity. We're going to have an Asian one and maybe in the future a Native American one. I don't know. We're going to dive into that because people are tired of seeing white men on the screen.
Period.
I love Chris Evans, and I do. And I love Tony Stark. Well, Robert Downey Jr.
We get you.
I'm tired.
But like I said, we're wondering if this shit's getting any better. So that means we can't even jump into Black Widow first. We're going to take it back to 2017 with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, there was a third film for the DC universe after she dropped in Superman versus Batman.
Mm-hmm. Towards the end, when she really was able to do anything in that movie was towards the end, the last 10 minutes.
Damn. And from that, we get a fucking backstory movie rather than just a random Wonder Woman adventure. So question, what was your first introduction to Wonder Woman?
Well, my aunt was a big fan of the Wonder Woman TV show. Mm-hmm. So she would often make references to that. And I guess remember the theme song. And in my head, I kind of remember the theme song, but
dude, I don't even know it. Hum it. Give me some.
She Wonder Woman. I don't know. It sounds like some 70s shit. I was like, do you boo? But so I think that was my first introduction. And then when I got older, I was watching Justice League, the animated series, and that's where I was just like, oh, she's kind of cool, just like the girl version of Superman, I guess. But in my head, that's how I thought of her. And then when I got even older, I was just like, oh, did they do it for tokenism? We gotta have one girl on the Justice League. So she's the top 3, Batman, Superman, then Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. And my introduction to her was also Justice League animated series. TV raised me. But as you said, even when I mentioned the Sailor Moon movie, we don't get a lot of girl squads kicking ass. No, we got Wonder Woman and Hawk Girl. That's it. Right. That's it for that squad. But I didn't really get introduced to her backstory, or I guess a version of her backstory, until the 2009 animated movie, which got me concerned for the 2017, because I'm like, how are you going to do this? Because not to get too deep into that animated movie, that shit was hardcore feminism to the point of misandry.
Really?
It is only within this prison, Diana, that you can glimpse the true darkness that lurks in the hearts of all men. Ares.
But it had a really binary, cookie cutter, man-hating narrative of feminism.
Ow! I didn't need you to save me. I needed you to stop Ares. I bet you would have acted differently if I were a man.
Which brings me back to my, Wonder Woman 2017. I was concerned about the origin, but I was actually okay with it. So how do you feel about the story?
I thought the story for Wonder Woman 2017 was a good entry to the DCU. Just getting her backstory, knowing where she came from, and also like for me, like I never really known Wonder Woman and her personality because even in Justice League, she seemed pretty stale. So
it's flat.
Yeah, it's very flat. And so like even this one is definitely like because she's what they could say, fish out of water. So everything's new to her. So she's kind of trying to figure things out and she's developing her personality. And I like that. I thought it was really cute. For her to be so strong and just be so like naive to like the human world, the regular world. I just thought it was a very interesting and cute origin story for her in DCU. So I liked it. I thought the story was fine. I do have issues, but that's towards the end. I thought the third act kind of meh. But everything else, I was fucking with it heavy.
I did like her personality in this one because you see this youthful naivete, optimism, and we always see a mature Wonder Woman. Hashtag girl boss. I'm here, take no prisoners. But this one, she's like so idealistic to the point, like she believed this fairy tale so much.
Yes,
her mother, like, baby, you don't know shit. You ain't even Amazon like us. Sit your ass down. You're not going out there. Right. But I'm interested in what the problems you have. And you said towards the end, I feel like we might have the same problem.
Okay, yeah. Are you ready to jump into that?
Yes.
Got some more? Okay. Well, my problem with the end was mainly the setup for the villain of Wonder Woman. I just thought that that was probably the weakest part of the movie. And people really gotta, well, Hollywood, if you're watching this video by any chance, all of Hollywood, please put some time into your villains because villains really are so important to the story. Because I was like, I don't care about him. I don't care about this villain. So it just made it feel like her like beating him just didn't mean anything to me. I was like, okay, well, I guess, hopefully the end of the second movie, Wonder Woman movie, it would be better than the first Wonder Woman movie. So I had a problem with the villain.
My problem is they had too many villains. It felt like they're trying to do a red herring. Now, first of all, I have a problem with Dr. Maru. Why it seemed like every time you get like these femme-led movies, they always trying to find that one woman to be like a female villain. Trying to increase the vagina count. And I'm like, yeah, why?
I forgot all about her, Drea.
But I'm help you remember.
Okay.
She's supposed to be this master villain, but it seems like as a woman, she like there's some kind of sensitivity, especially when she interacts with her superior. Like he's just gracefully touching her fucked up, scarred face, as if I'm not here for your beauty, I'm here for your brain, which makes you beautiful. And I'm like, are you operating to be validated by this man?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Girl.
Right. And then when she comes back up at the end, Ares like, look at her. You should kill her. Trevor is dead because of her. You see this feeble woman on the floor, fucked up face, looking like Phantom of the Opera.
Girl, I forgot all about that. That's how forgettable that shit was.
And it's like you have this visage of like feminism looking at her like this. I won't kill her because there's good in human beings. I will be nice and I'm gonna just kick your ass instead. You're like the boogeyman Lucifer of this goddamn universe. Didn't have any impact and I'm supposed to give a shit at the last hour.
Exactly.
But if you was a teacher, what kind of grade would you give this damn movie?
I would give it, because they capture me in the beginning, in the middle, and I would give it a B+. Not quite an A, because you didn't execute the landing. Okay.
So like I'm gonna give you a B+ to motivate you.
Right, like you could do much better. It's in you.
See, I'm gonna give it a C because it's like I think a villain makes a big part of these films, and it fell flat. So like her opposition, all of this charged up energy. It just felt flat to me. And it's even weird because in the 2009 version, Ares was like really involved. Like he was always there.
She is right to be scared, Hippolyta. You are a fool if you think you can hold me forever. I am a force of nature.
You know what? We're going to fast forward because you know what? I don't even know if I want to talk about Wonder Woman 1984 that bad. Did you see any progress with that movie?
No.
I'm not going to
I saw regression. I was like, what? Wait, what? Who did this movie? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe. I was like, all right. Diana was getting to know herself, her place in this world. Now we're going to see a much more developed character. No.
Baby was
That's
depressed.
not what happened. No, they said, well, we're going to make her miss her boo for how long? 60 years, 50 years, whatever. Trevor died in probably
World War One.
Yeah. You still thinking about
it's 1984.
Girl, I know when you love someone and you just like you gonna always be in your where's your heart? Always be in your heart, okay? I understand that. But you trying to tell me you are whole Amazon, you bad as fuck, and you couldn't find no other nigga outside of him. You was just depressed about him the whole time. And the fact that that was the biggest plot point of this movie. What an insult. What an insult to that character. Insult to me.
Man. And what bothered me more, you got, you know, pretty lonely bitch. And then you got, I'm ugly because I'm not fashionable. Just hating on the pretty lonely bitch. She's like, I wish I was like you. And Diana's just drinking wine by herself.
Like, girl, go to Nordstrom. All that shit that she's wearing, you can go buy it yourself, okay? Stop playing.
And the worst part, that character was bougie as fuck in her original, you know, backstory. She was wealthy.
Oh, wow, really?
She was a wealthy woman who like stole old architecture and talismans and shit
so much.
And now she become the quirky, nerdy girl who ain't pretty because she wears a fucking scrunchie and don't take social cues.
That's my problem. Sorry, it's an eyeliner.
That's
my problem.
Point your eyeliner. Like, I'm pretty and I'm pissed.
Exactly. I just cannot believe that they reduced like the problems of women in a lot of, even in the superhero movies, to just stuff being about, I'm not pretty enough. I don't have her confidence. Like the competition between women. Like, I want to be like, why can't we get some real shit like all the male characters do?
Man.
Like, I just don't understand why they think like the most problems that women have is just appearance and aesthetics. And I didn't get it.
That's what I felt about Dr. Maru, is that she was overcompensating because she wasn't pretty. So I'm gonna make a bad poison.
Right. And I got that feeling too. Exactly. I was like, this feels weird watching this.
But the worst part, apparently during my research, her scarred face, she did that into herself to feel the actual pain she was going to cause on people. So I'm like, oh, so she crazy. Oh, it'd be nice to have got that kind of dynamic. But
can
just
we get crazy bitches? Come on, we exist. I mean, not me. They exist.
But just to see, she just working on this poison and she working with a male superior, that power dynamic, it just seems like it didn't read that way. It didn't read like he was crazy.
Right. No, it didn't.
No.
Like insecure. That's what it
exactly.
Yeah.
Why is that the plot for women? Insecurities. Why?
Yes.
Why? But you know, we also get more bullshit on the next movie I'm going to fucking talk about. Motherfucking Dark motherfucking Phoenix. It's the film
Let
that killed it.
Let me tell you this before you start.
Okay.
I did not watch the movie all the way. I gave up. So I have a little opinions on it, but I did not watch it all the way through, just to let the audience know I gave up on Dark Phoenix. But go ahead. You go ahead, start off.
Girl, guess what?
What?
Me too.
We're on the same page. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I'm just like, oh no, I can't. I I'm good. I can do something else with this time.
Ooh. But let me read my little prompt before we talk about why we like, nope.
Right.
See, clearly Dark Phoenix killed the X-Men franchise and our souls because we
Yes.
nope. Written, directed, produced by a dick. I mean, Simon Kinberg. And he did an interview like, from now on, every movie should be a feminist movie. As a Black woman, how do you feel that a man is on a mission to create more feminist movies that is so binary, so surface level, no nuance, no intersection?
Yes, I was just about to say, because you're only appealing to white feminists. And that's only just on the surface, because white feminism prioritize white supremacy first. They're white first. So it doesn't connect to me, Drea, other people, other women of color, because we also have intersectionality. So like you can't, it's annoying. It's just like, okay, so you're really just well, all women should like this. No,
all women don't. Women.
No, because you care about yourselves first. So I'm good. I'm Gucci on that. Like I ain't trying to watch no shit like that, because you're clearly being ignorant to the fact that this only appeals to a certain type of woman.
Man.
Dang me.
And the worst part of all with white feminism is as if your only struggle is against the white man. That's it.
Exactly.
There's no nuances, no other, things to connect to.
Mm-hmm.
But this shit y'all been talking about since the first wave.
right. Just like, I'm all right on this. Y'all can have this movie.
So when did you opt out? What happened that Brittany's like, you know what? I cannot.
I'm gonna be honest, it was really, really early in the film. Like, I didn't even get through 10 minutes of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I
think I lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah, because I just felt like I knew where this was going. And I felt like I didn't want to waste my time. Because I just, when you watch something initially and you have a feeling, you're just kind of like, yo, I'm about to waste a whole 2 hours on this shit. And it's not going to be good. And I know it's not going to be good because it didn't connect with me. And a lot of the X-Men movies were getting to that point anyways, just like kind of losing me. So I was already apprehensive going in. I wasted my time on that other fucking movie before.
But the Apocalypse. What bothered me was just how heavy-handed that shit was. Like they were on a fucking mission and then shit goes left and Mystique comes in talking to Charles like this. The women's always doing the work around here, Charles.
Yes.
It should be called X-Women instead of X-Men. I'm like, oh, damn. This is what we're on.
They're just putting it in our face like, okay, women, this is for you. So don't say anything about all the other superhero movies that will be white men. All right. This is you.
And then when Jean Grey, kind of snapped, killed Raven, she's hiding away, run away. Then she meets this fucking alien Vuk. And she's like, you're just a suppressed child who listened to all the things that men have told you because men fear you. And I'm like, oh,
here we go. Here we go.
Like the internal struggle of a powerful white woman. That's the
the powerful white man. I want the power too. Give it to me. Meanwhile, they still got a whole bunch of fucking power still. So
man, At that point, that's when I'm like, you know what?
Right.
This ain't for me. I'd rather watch Baby Boy. I'm not going to sit through this shit.
Girl, I can watch Baby Boy. If it's raining on a Saturday and that shit's on, I'm like, well, you know what? This is my favorite part.
It was just too preachy. And I'm like, you know what? Control Alt Delete.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish this movie. So I'm gonna
It's like it feels so childish. Like we
It
can't
does.
understand nuance. We can't understand subtleness. Like it just has to be in our face because well, we gotta make sure the women know that we're about girl power here. Like
yes, girl boss. Yes, queen.
right?
Hashtag feminism. Oh my god, that was a headache. I'm glad that we both didn't finish that shit. Like, I know my worth.
Exactly. My time is valuable, nigga. I'm not gonna sit here and watch just to be disappointed.
Right? Our time was so valuable. We didn't watch Dark Phoenix, but both of us actually sat through fucking Mulan, our next movie that we're talking about. Oh,
I'm gonna sit through that because I spent $30. I'm gonna watch that multiple times, but still.
I did not spend 30. I think, damn, did I hold on? Let me think about it. When did I see it? No, it was free. By the time I saw it, it was for free. Okay. Now, anybody rolling your eyes, that's that Disney princess, but I'm sorry, they refigure her to be a goddamn superhero, a chi blocking, chi utilizing fucking superhero. And I'm like, why?
They took everything away that made her cool because she was still just a regular girl that had a lot of fucking heart and had balls out this world. Like, you wanted to, well, no, girls can't just be like strong on the inside. You know, we got to actually make her strong for this to make sense.
Worst part that just hit me when you said that while I'm processing it. They took an already feminist movie that wasn't so overt and they made it worse. We're gonna double down on this shit. We want to make sure everybody knows pro women, pro girl. You guys need to be equal to the men. Yes, queen. First wave.
My God. Oh my God. You're right. I was like,
it was already progressive enough,
but then so good.
And then they made her like extra unique because you're one of the few people that have these powers, but women can't be using this. Only the men. We don't have a lot of men, you know, actually using this in this film. Only men can use this shit. Not you, Fa Mulan. I mean, Hua Mulan.
Right, Hua Mulan. Okay.
On top of that, amongst the other changes of these movies, did you even think it was warranted? Because they made a lot of changes.
You know what? During like the, I guess, pre-production of this movie, I was kind of keeping up with it because I was just curious, like, because that movie, the way they market it, it's going to be like a homage to Hong Kong cinema. You know, we're casting Chinese actors. Like they were doing over and beyond and being very vocal. Disney, that's who I'm talking about. Being very vocal what they're doing for this movie. And I'm just like, okay. It was like all of the steps to the movie was sounding good to me. I was like, all right, I'm fucking with this. Okay, cool. And then the execution. And I was just like, y'all ruined your own shit. Like it was already good. What is this?
I'm mad. They did so much research that I love the sets. I love the costume. Like you knew Disney, like, hey, y'all, we did our research now. We did it. And you can see it. But I'm like, all that research to give you a lackluster film.
Girl.
You're right. How you ruined your own source material? I mean,
you ruined your own shit. Figure out what's the magic. And you know what? And that's another conversation though. The fact that Disney just thinks they can capture the magic of animation and transform it to live action, you're not respecting what animation is. That's the beauty of animation, and that magic you can't get in live action.
And on top of the bullshit, I'm gonna stick with this trope. Every time you get a female-led movie, they always gotta find that one woman to be a fucking villain.
And that's funny you say that because I didn't realize that pattern, but I see it now.
Secondary villains with a male superior at that.
Yep.
I think even this one, they weren't trying to make her too bad so she could be redeemable. And I'm like, why is she here?
We don't let's just fight the bad guy. Why you gotta give us the setup to the bad guy, which is usually a woman? Like, why do we have to do this part right here? Because it does nothing.
We gotta talk about oppression.
Well, us women, all of us have different stories, and this was my story. That's why I did all this fucked up shit. But you don't have to do this anymore because I'm gonna save you. We're gonna save each other because we're women. And then the fucking woman dies every fucking time. Like.
She dies by saving Mulan because I realized I was wrong now.
Oh, you needed okay.
Just realized they brought her up to make a conversation about women being suppressed by men with the whole fucking cheese shit they invented with this damn movie. They afraid of my powers
needed.
too.
It wasn't needed. Why did we need the supernatural in this? That's why I thought this movie was going to be good, because it's not like heavily besides the ancestor thing, but a lot of like POC cultures deal with their ancestors, so that wasn't too like out of the like craziness for me. But you talking about the chi that only men get, and she got it, and she floating on the rooftops, and I was just like, I thought this was gonna be more grounded. You took out Mushu. You could have
They took out Mushu to give us different magic.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
It's just like these attempts just makes everything dry. Like, other than that, I can't remember anything like any other highlights that I enjoy from that movie.
Yeah,
I can't. It just
makes aesthetically, I just could not.
Yeah, it's like y'all can build beautiful sets and costumes with these, reinterpretations, which can be an expansion on another video. But other than that could have stayed in the draft, sis.
Period. Wasn't needed.
No, which makes me wonder, going on to the next movie, did we really need this movie? Did it came too late? Should it came sooner? Or did y'all even give a fuck about this character until you want to extend phase 4? And I'm talking about, finally, Black motherfucking Widow.
Oh my God, Black Widow. Oh my God.
Okay, so what was your take of Natasha Romanoff for this entirety of the MCU? Did you even have an impression of her at all?
She was just part of the squad. Like, she was the vagina of the squad. And it felt that way because they gave baby girl no type of real issues. They referred to like her past, which they explored in the movie. But I was like, every time it brought up, because they, Hawkeye and Black Widow talked about Budapest multiple movies. And I was just like, well, show us what happened. Like, I want to know. But they never did that. And I just felt like, what is she there for? Because she was a spy. These niggas coming, this nigga from Asgard, we got a superhuman, we got a smart ass person, we got a Hulk. Why is Natasha there?
Like, we dealing with aliens, wizard, and androids.
Exactly, the big three, okay? And you're trying to tell me, the little skinny white girl over here, like, she was needed for this? She wasn't. So when I really started to care, I always liked her because I thought she was I liked her, the concept of her. Personality, I didn't get right away because every time they gave her a little bit of meat, it was always attached to some other dude. And I was just like, I guess I would like to know more about her. I believe in Age of Ultron, they did go into her backstory a little bit when they
got little clips.
Yeah, of the Red Room. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, and it made me excited because I was like, okay, now we're going to learn more about this character. Yep, that was it. I was like, all right. Okay. I don't know how you felt about her.
Okay,
her entry into the MCU. But I loved every single minute when she was in the chair on the phone talking like, I'm about to fuck these niggas up, but I gotta get the information first. I love her entry into the MCU so much, and I was so like excited for her character, and then nothing happened. I mean, her entry was in Iron Man 2, but in Avengers, I was just like,
you felt she was more immersed in the shit.
I was like, oh, she's gonna be a big part. So I guess her entry into the Avengers, I was like, oh, this is gonna be, and I was just like,
any minute now.
oh, she dead. That's it. All right. Bye.
You're like, I guess, but bye, baby. For
Bye,
me,
sweetheart.
Natasha Romanoff was giving me Lucy 2.0. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Okay, so Scarlett Johansson, she seemed like a regular schmegler girl with actual personality. And then I guess she got into some scuffles of some bullshit where she ended up smuggling drugs in her belly. But when she got beaten and punched, it kind of secreted into her body and activated the full capacity of her brain. So she becomes this ass-kicking badass who become less and less human with so much information she could process. To the point that she becomes the visions of like pretty much the height of humanity, of what the human body and the mind can actually do. And so watching that movie, I don't know if that came first before the other movies, but that shit felt like Natasha. Hell, that shit almost as in like, because how bare bones she was after a while, because she looked like she was really apathetic. Hell, I wonder if that was the reason why she got Ghost in the Shell, because it was just seemed like such a detached persona.
Yeah.
So when I saw Natasha, it's like, you just there, you not doing any traction. And it's weird. I was watching clips to try to, gain my memory of her. I didn't know they was really pushing her to be a sex icon in the MCU.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I forgot. Pepper's like, you keep on eyeing her. She's a walking sexual harassment suit.
Yes.
Stop it, Tony.
And what's funny you say that, because I was telling my boyfriend that she was just eye candy for the MCU. I was like, Scarlett Johansson as an actress can fucking act. Like, I've seen her in like indie films, and I know she has the acting chops, but Hollywood, big budget Hollywood, keep putting her in these like eye candy roles, so she only has so much to do, which is so unfair to her. But I understand them Disney checks, be fat as fuck. Yeah. But it just doesn't do anything for her, like her artistry. If anybody, like especially comic book fans, especially female comic book fans that love like Black Widow, this shit would hurt to see how this character is translated to the MCU and what you guys reduced her to. Man. Just fucking eye candy that can kick some ass and swing around a nigga's neck and throw him down.
The worst clip that made me cringe the most, it was in Winter Soldier, where she was explaining to Steve how he shot through her body to hit his target, and she lifted up to show the battle scar. She's like, bye-bye bikinis.
Doesn't even sound like something she would actually say in the movie that we recently watched.
She's so much grounded.
Yes. Like, I really don't think she gives a fuck about how her body is beaten up. Like, she just needs to accomplish to go, girl, I'm gonna have to watch the movies again.
Before we start talking about the actual movie Black Widow, did you care about her death? Did you?
I did not. I did not care.
Because that's what bothered me. Like when they tell us that, oh, she getting her own movie. I'm like, but she died though. And I didn't care then.
I didn't care then. Exactly. And I said, when I first watched, because that happened in Infinity War or Endgame.
Endgame.
I think it was Endgame. And she died, and that whole like back and forth, I wasn't connecting to. Like, I was just like, well, I mean, honestly, either y'all could go because we don't really need you.
I said the same thing.
Right here.
We right here.
I didn't care who actually kicked the bucket. I was just like, we need to speed this scene along because I'm trying to get back to what the niggas' plans are, you know?
Y'all both can go.
Y'all both could go. Not that I disliked them, but I just didn't care about them. And that's the fault of the MCU because you made the regular humans. Honestly, it reminded me of Dragon Ball Z and how they treated anybody outside of the Saiyan race. Like, oh, y'all niggas are garbage at this point.
Y'all expendable.
It's about the Saiyans, right? So we get up to the point of Endgame. We don't care who dies.
I'm not invested.
Move along.
I wonder how many people actually turned out to actually watch Black Widow. I don't know how many people were like disenchanted by her, by this whole trek. I think I watched it out of curiosity for the most part.
And then honestly, because she gave her life towards the end, I feel like at Endgame, they made her way more likable than they ever did. Her crying in front of Cap and trying to keep up the Avengers, being the one, it made me relate to her, like being, especially older girls in the family. We're always kind of keeping things together. Yeah. And so like that, trying to see her keep it together, even though like she's obviously mentally, like she's traumatized and it's hurting her just as bad as it's hurting Cap. And Cap's doing his own thing, but she's trying to keep the Avengers together because she feel like that's needed. And I was like, okay, all right. Like I started to feel for her, but it was already too late because it's been so many years, you know, not doing anything with this character. By the time we got to Endgame, when I started to care a little bit, she was already dead.
Oh. And the worst part, her movie, it had a central theme about family. And I'm like, damn, if they put this before Infinity Wars, I probably would have given a shit. Yeah. Because that shit happened right in between.
Yes. It was such a missed opportunity for Disney not to think about creating a story for her, because that could have fit right there. It
would have heightened her emotional integrity.
Yes.
So when she does really sacrifice herself, you'd be like,
oh, like I was with Tony Stark died. I was like, oh, the nigga got it together finally at the end. Like, oh
damn. Like they really could have fucked us up. We could have lost Tony and Natasha. We'd have been like Game of Thrones all over again, crying.
Yes, I'm like, and I respect to MCU for doing that to two major characters, but it always felt like Tony Stark death trumps over Natasha's death.
I mean, it did. About it. You have way more development.
Honestly, if you think about the trend of female-led movies, especially action-based movies, it's not very high. It is not. They don't do well in the box office. And at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. And so Natasha Romanoff is not a guaranteed moneymaker. Because she's eye candy. She is the extra for the men in the Avengers. You know, she had almost some sort of like chemistry or relationship with
that felt
a lot of the men in the Avengers. It's like Thor.
It's like with like what really got to me was like how they were developing a relationship with Hulk. And it's as if he only really expands when she has an emotional connection with another guy in the group.
Yep.
And so I'm like, y'all a thing? I'm like, she has range, emotional range, I guess. But that was pretty much
so shoehorned in though. I was just like, where is this chemistry coming from? And then him being mad when Natasha died in Endgame, I was like, fuck out of here. Because your ass didn't act like you liked her at all. Like, you cared about her because she's part of the squad and y'all fight together and stuff. But you was always just like swerving her to the fucking left. Like, you was like, no, I can't do this because I'm a monster on the inside, you know? And that's when I made my video. She deserved better. She really deserved better. Like, throughout the MCU in general.
You know, and that would have made it even stronger if you felt like that she was getting pushed away from everyone. And then she's going back dealing her old familial shit, talking about family and the value of family. Like, well, bitch, where your Avengers now?
Right, exactly.
Where's your family now?
Yes. Because, yeah. if we're ready to get into the movie.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
We can segue right into the movie.
Okay. So Natasha meeting up with her old family. There was aspects of this movie I like, and I thought that was probably the strongest part was the fact that she had very complicated relationship with her family, but she cared about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, so when all that stuff happened in her life and, basically leaving Budapest and her family not really being her family, but her sister thought she was, all of that made it where I could see why she would look at the Avengers as her family. So it was just like, you are showing us what happened with Natasha and her original family made me understood why she was keeping up the Avengers even after half the population was gone.
Why she had that attachment.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, we could complain about the placement. We know Natasha, Black Widow was an afterthought. Definitely was. And I was just like, wow, this is good stuff. This is good. Like everything dealing with her family, I was like, this is really good. But then everything else, I was just like,
man, it's like that part gave her so much emotional integrity. That's like, it felt like more of a drama than a superhero flick when you start getting to the action of it. It's like, that's what the strongest, everything else kind of,
yeah.
And I also couldn't tell if they were trying to have like a message or whatever, because like they're talking about how pretty much this red room is fueled by the abandonment and overlooking of girls, ironically, with the character they've been overlooking for all these goddamn years.
Yeah, right? It's like, was they trying to be better, or was that just it happened the way it happened? But yeah, I got that too.
I'm like, are we talking about, like, it made me wonder, like, are we going to be like Falcon Winter Soldier? We're going to be kind of deep about the concern of girlhoods because these girls are getting snatched and brainwashed and shit. But no.
Well, I guess we'll really see it, right? When we see Elena in whatever franchise she's going to, or whatever show she's going to be in next,
Hawkeye.
Probably Falcon or Hawkeye, yeah. So we'll definitely see how they treat this character and see if they actually are aware of their treatment of Black Widow and they're going to do better with Elena, or is it going to be somewhat of the same thing? We'll really see it then. If you fail one thing, you should learn from the failure and do way better the second time.
And I think they could kind of echo that in the movie because like Black Widow, I had to do this egregious wrong to get out and I neglected all these other girls. And instead of what the Taskmaster want to clap back on her ass, like, is he gone? Yeah, girl, he gone. We trauma bonded. We're good now.
Right.
They didn't want me to commit to this wrong, want to really showcase it that hard because I still got to be a good girl. I'm marketable. I got merchandise.
Exactly. And I was about to say, like, even Elena bringing that up, it's just like, well, I'm not the hero that's trying to or that little girls look up to. And I was like,
damn.
You are a whole ass assassin, girl.
Like we both got bodies.
Right. We got our body count and not the way y'all think.
Only one of us doing autographs.
Exactly. A little bit hair and picture on the wall. Like, I want to be like Natasha or Black Widow. Like, do you?
The weirdest part that hit me in this movie is that Black Widows are what the women in that section is called, but here you are flexing to the world, gang Black Widow, so he can't ever come after your ass, and you was okay just leaving them girls in the wind. Reckless. Even Elena, like, you wasn't gonna clap back you. Why? One of your Avengers can avenge you?
Right, exactly.
Like, I think
she was calling her out, and it was definitely warranted because she deserves some of that.
Ooh. Now, with all this reflection, do you think that Black Widow has fared better than the other movies that we talked about? You think it's been overall progressive, or we just getting the same old shit, different day?
Very complicated question.
I know.
And
welcome to Echo 4, bitches.
Right? Exactly. We're not going to give you the answer, but we're going to try. I would say that Black Widow gave me hope, but the movie itself fall into the trend. of how they've been doing superhero movies with women. So I say it gives hope because I feel like them even attempting to do this movie after her death, knowing that it probably wasn't going to make a lot of money, but they felt like, I don't know, I might be giving them too much benefit of the doubt, but
go ahead.
You know, like the fact they didn't have to do this movie, but people were complaining of like the treatment of Black Widow and what they did to this character, and now you killed her off. You know, it's not really financially smart to go ahead and greenlight a Black Widow movie knowing that this character is already dead. And most likely, because we already know that superhero movies with women, women-led superhero movies are not going to really do that well at the box office compared to the male counterpart, they still did it anyway. So in that case, it gives me hope that at least they're trying to step outside the box and greenlight some of these movies that they know maybe will struggle to find its footing, but it's worth investing in. In that case. But the movie itself still kind of like story-wise didn't want to commit to her just being a flawed person. Like we know that Tony Stark killed a bunch of people with his weapons.
Woo!
And we still forgave him. We still cried at the theater when he snapped his finger. So if we're still able to feel for Tony Stark and see his progression as a character, why wouldn't we give that same feeling towards Black Widow or Natasha Romanoff? Like, just let her kill the kid. Like, she literally thought she had blood on her hand this whole time. So commit to that. Because in my head, when I was, I think 20 or something years old when I was watching the first Avenger movie, I was just like, wow, that's bold. Y'all making a female character be flawed? What? Like, just commit to it. But they didn't want to because, you know, women got to be perfect.
Yeah, and even if they do something wrong, we're gonna give them like this nice redemption. So it's like they were good all along.
Yeah. There's some trash ass women out here. Just letting the world know because people are trash at times. That means women too.
And like she was just dingy with a little bit of oppression.
Right, no.
Because you know, patriarchy.
Right, exactly.
So we're gonna make her good for the sake of feminism. I hope y'all keep count with your shots.
I definitely, it's been about 8-10 times already.
Damn. I might rewatch this to see how I feel. Ooh, do we even have we don't have to grade that movie. We don't have to. We already got a feeling. It was basic at best.
It was basic at best. Yes, you're right. But if I was to grade it.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. She's like, I will give it a letter.
I'm gonna give it a C+. Okay,
I was thinking about CC too.
Yeah.
Because you know, you did have some heart, some great heart, but you know,
and Elena was adorable. I loved her little assassin ass. I was like, oh my god.
Only women would have a whole conversation about having pockets.
Right.
And I felt that shit. Pockets.
And I was just like, yes, girl, I'll be excited too.
Why I'm wearing a romper that have no pockets, but they have fake zippers. So you think they're pockets.
The anger. You're like, oh, y'all on bullshit.
I got high-waisted pants thinking I had some pockets. When I try to step.
The pockets.
That's all I have for now. Yeah. Thank you for hanging with us with this little girls' night.
Yeah.
And before I leave, I'll say that we forgot about Captain Marvel, and that's that.
She was forgettable.
Girl. Period. But if you know, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how you feel about these movies. Tell us other movies that we missed out on. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Probably not, because we got other shit to do. I'm lying.
As you saw, we had a whole bunch of content ideas flowing in this video.
So you know, let us know. But that's it.